But as I got up here, it came out.
Amen.
See what I'm saying? Because God wants you to know He's going to add to the church. He's going to multiply. He's going to bless. All I need you to do is be faithful and live right. Huh? What can you tell a man about being faithful that ain't got no money in his pocket? If you haven't been faithful, you ain't had no money in your pocket. Hmm? What can you tell him? You know, there's an old proverb saying, experience is the best teacher. Sometimes you live in something, you going something through experience so that your experience will be able to help somebody and teach somebody else. See what I'm saying? And the main thing is you gotta go through doing what God say do. If God tell you to stick with a person, you stick with that person. Huh? If God tell you to say yes forever, don't the next day say, well, yeah, forever over today. Don't do that. Huh? You made a vow to the Lord.
On that.
Yes, ma'am.
On that vow, you made a vow that we discussed today, and I told you I was going to bring it up if you
Bring it on up.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up.
Bring it on up.
Right. You know when you get married and you say, promise to love, honor, and obey? Both people say that. And my husband said he doesn't remember having said it.
Okay.
He said he doesn't remember that. Like
Okay.
I made a
Okay,
vow
well-
to the Lord.
Okay, what else did I tell you? You remember that part? What else did I tell you?
That's it. That's
No,
it.
no, no. You remember that. But what was the main thing that, no. Answer the question. What else did I tell you? What was the main characteristic that I told you about me? What was the main thing?
You're a dictator.
Okay, what else?
Control freak.
And what else? What else did I tell you?
God's favorite.
What else did I tell you?
Oh, child, please. I don't know.
See there? I told her straight up, I was slightly retarded. So how can you expect a slightly retarded person to remember everything?
No, you stood up here when you gave a lesson 2 lessons ago and said that that was null and void. That you wasn't gonna do that.
No.
You did.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it of my own free will. But you asked a question and I gave you an answer. So it's not me using that as an excuse. And if you ask any man in here that's a married man, the woman always remembers something that the man said that the man just totally forgot.
You know, it's funny how you can shift.
Is that right?
You know how to shift it from the carnal mind to the spiritual mind. You know, stay on that spiritual mind.
I'm staying on the spiritual. You asked a carnal-minded question.
No.
Wait a minute. You asked a question
About
about what I said. I told you the truth. I don't remember. But if that's what I said, you remember that what I said? Now I'm not gonna go into that part. But when it gets down to a man's obedience to a woman, the scripture said the man obeys the woman according to his body. And you find that in 1 Corinthians 7 where it said the man does not have jurisdiction over his body. Now, when you told me this morning, I told you, I said, I'm not wearing no tie. You told me to put on a tie. Did I put it on? Was I obedient?
No, you made me put it on.
Okay. But it got on, didn't it?
He got one on.
All right. Let's go. We're going to get into the title of our lesson. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. Because she played right into the title of the lesson. The title of the lesson is Obedient to Increase. See, if you want an increase, You want an increase. An increase is not limited to money. An increase includes love, understanding, emotional well-being. All that plays into an increase, provided you're willing to be obedient. Huh? What part of the scripture said that Jesus was obedient unto death? Meaning, when he had to go to that cross, he said, not my will, Father, but your will. He didn't want to do it, but he had to do the will of the Father all the way to the cross. And because he did the will of the Father all the way to the cross, he raised up with glory. Not the glory of man, but the glory of the Father. Right. See what I'm saying? So if we want God's glory to really work, not just in some areas, but in all areas, it's important that we strive to be obedient in everything.
To God.
To God. And God set the order. He set the order. When he come here, set the order. Bishop Robinson, elder, head. Bishop Dobbs, elder, head. Elder Curry, elder, head. So there is an order that God has set for man in everything. Now, we like to say, when we sometimes don't want to do what man say do, I'm going to obey God.
Amen.
But God had told you to obey that man. He already told you what to do. So you can't use that as an out. I'm going to obey God. You don't tell me what to do. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll obey a man that's my head when it's in line with the word.
Okay.
Only.
All right, let's look at this. Let's look at this. It's not for you to pick and choose.
Yeah, yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's
That's
not.
what the
It's
word
not.
says.
I gotta put this.
Huh.
Let me back up. But we're gonna get into this lesson. All right. Let's go to 1 Samuel 15. Let's get into this. They'll come back to it. 1 Samuel 15. You're right. When it's aligned with the word, it's supposed to be obedient. Not supposed to obey a man that is not aligned with the word. But you need to know the word too.
Yeah, I do.
All right? 1 Samuel 15. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord. Sound like an appointment here. Thus said the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Nothing you do or don't do, God don't remember. He's got you written down in the book. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they had, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. The order was utterly destroy everything they got. That was the order. And God put a man in charge to follow out the order. But the problem was, he wanted to please the people more than he wanted to please God. And we have to be very careful when we're serving God that we're not doing two things. We're not pleasing people, and we're not pleasing ourselves contrary to the will of God. You have to be careful of the pleasures of this flesh, because that'll lead you outside the will of God. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them and told them 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites, now, look at Saul, exercising right judgment of mercy. The Kenites had done nothing to Israel when they came out of Egypt, but showed them kindness. Now, I'm not going to do you wrong because of the kindness that you showed to me. And Saul said unto the Kenites, go depart and get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. For you showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt. So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, this over against Egypt. And he took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. Here's the mistake. But Saul and the people spared Agag, the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, but everything that was vile, refused, they destroyed them utterly. Now, you got to be careful about taking away with that that glitters or that that feel good. If you remember when Joshua was leading the children of Israel out of Egypt, and God gave Joshua an order to go destroy a certain city. And as he went to destroy that city, up to that point, God had gave Joshua victory. But it took one person, just one person, to slow up the whole camp. All that one person did was grab himself some shiny object and go and bury it and hide it. And he slowed up the whole camp. Then when things slowed up, things not right, running right, the first thing the man of God did was went to God. What's wrong with the camp? Why is the camp not moving forward? See, it's not what we find fault with. It's what God finds fault with. See, you have a mixed multitude of people in the camp. And within this mixed multitude, God is molding people. Now, that don't make the camp wrong. What made the camp wrong was the one person who did something that he knew God gave a charge not to do. See, you can find fault in any camp that you be in. Just like I was over at Elder Walker's church one day. He said, ain't no church perfect. I don't care if you be in a church full of people or church small people. Ain't no camp perfect. But what God look at, he look at the heart of everybody in the camp that's striving to do right. Because he's molded. If I was to tell the truth about myself, about being molded with God, I didn't do everything just right. But it's only God that can see all the way down in the heart. If I could tell you some things that when I was with Bishop Perkins Isaac, that all the people were there. There's only very few that's still around today. And there's only very few that God is using to the fullest to this day. See, it's not in him that runs, it's in him that endures. You want to endure some things going this way, whether you like it or not. Trust me, I had to endure some things. People that you thought that would love you didn't love you. So you got to go through. Be obedient. Now, if Saul had stayed in obedience, he would have been increased. But because he disobeyed, now he got to suffer a decrease. First of all, God took his position away from him. He was just holding it down for another man. Sometimes you be decreased and don't know that you've been decreased. Not only that, let's go to 1 Samuel 16. Because I want to show you. 1 Samuel 16 and 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. You know, as a refresher course, a few weeks back I taught from Deuteronomy 28. And one of the things that God will suffer a person to go through when they are not lined up just right, he suffered them to be vexed. He suffered. Every time I turn around, being vexed on the job, being vexed off the job. And all the people around you who don't like you for no reason. He sent a spirit of vexation. Vexed Saul so much. The only thing that could calm his vexing spirit was music. And he had to have an anointed musician just to calm him. You have to ask yourself, sometimes, why do it get so easily as upset at the smallest thing? Because if you lined up just right, you had an armor on. See, if that armor's on right, stuff bounce off, just like a raincoat. If you got a raincoat on, got the hood of the raincoat on, got it on and everything, all that water, the rains on a good raincoat, just bounce off. And if you need extra protection, you have a raincoat and an umbrella. And if you need extra protection for the raincoat and an umbrella, God give you a place to have a covering. Covering could be your car. Covering could be your house. But God got a place to protect you from the weather. See what I'm saying? Now, he don't leave you semi-protected. What you come semi-protected is when you're not lining up with something that you know you're supposed to line up with. You'll be protected in this area over here, but unprotected over here. And you be going, and that little unprotection will vex you day and night. That little unprotection affects you. It'll affect your mind. It'll affect your spirit. It'll affect your soul. Because you're not lined up just right. You could be blessed over here and at the same time vexed over here. You could be both blessed and vexed at the same time. But I'm the type of person, I just want to be blessed. I'm not trying to be vexed.
Right.
I'm just trying to be blessed. Because if I'm not careful, that vexation can make me say or do something that I will regret forever. Yes. A lot of people out here that have a charge against them. Somebody vexed them sometime. They were living right, they were doing right, they were doing the best they can, but just wasn't under the covering of God. And that one incident, that one person came along and vexed them. So much so, they decided, I got to take matters in my own hand to settle this, to keep this person from vexing me. You don't want to be like that. You want to be like, so that, Lord, this person is vexing me. Lord, I need you to do something about this person. See? I need you to fix this person.
See?
I need you to move this person.
Right.
Do I have scripture for what I'm saying? Yes, I do. Hezekiah. When Sennacherib came against Hezekiah, he came against him bragging, boasting. Talk to the people on the wall. Man, don't let Hezekiah fool you. Tell you that God won't save you. I done triumphed over this God or this people, this God or that people, this God or that people. Kept talking. Hezekiah took that letter that he sent to the people, took it up, put it before the altar of God. Said, God, don't worry about it. I'll put a hook in his nose and take him back to his land and get killed. Not only did he did that, when Hezekiah woke up the next morning, God had sent a destroying angel through the camp. Killed a lot of his soldiers. Then at the same time they killed a lot of the soldiers, he got a letter from his king at home saying, I need you to come back. I'm fighting with this people. So by the time he did that, lost all his soldiers, then went back home and lost his life. But one thing Hezekiah had his obedience. When Isaiah came to Hezekiah, he said, look, set that house in order, thou shalt surely die. He had credits with God. He said, Lord, I have kept your commandments all this time. Turn his face and weep to the wall. Now, let me break this down to you. When they say all the commandments, it means more than just those 10 up there. He said, I have kept all of them. All your commandments. Turn his head and weep to the wall. And before Isaiah could get out the court, God sent him back and said, look, go ahead, 15 more years to your life. Didn't just keep 10. Kept them all. And if you're not careful, you cut your own increase off because the devil played in your mind what's happening with somebody else. Now, how can I put this? Let me get Jeremiah 35. Let me get Jeremiah 35, then I'll come back to something. Jeremiah 35. Jeremiah 35:1. The word which came unto Jeremiah from the Lord in the days of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, saying, go unto the house of the Rechabite, and speak unto them, and bring them into the house of the Lord, and to one of the chambers, and give them wine to drink. Then I took Jezaniah, the son of Jeremiah, the son of Habazzah, with his brethren, and all his sons, and the whole house of the Rechabites. Watch this now, the whole house. Not just one part of the house, the whole house. And I brought them into the house of the Lord, and to the chamber of the sons of Hanan, son of Igdaliah, a man of God, which was by the chamber of the princes, which was above the chamber of Masalah, the son of Shulem, the keeper of the door. And I set before the sons of the house of the Rechabites pots full of wine and cups. And I said unto them, drink ye wine. Watch what happened. But they said, we will drink no wine. For Jonadab, the son of Rechab, our father, commanded us, saying, you shall drink no wine, neither ye nor your sons. Well, and follow how deep this is. This man was dead and gone off the scene. But he told his son to do a certain thing. Even though this man was dead and gone, they had enough sense to know if they wanted to increase, they had to obey their father. Watch this now. Neither shall you build house, nor sow seed, nor plant vineyard, nor have any. For all your days ye shall dwell in tents, that ye may live many days in the land where ye be strangers. Thus we have obeyed the voice of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, our father, and all that he hath charged us to drink no wine all our days, we, our wives, our sons, our daughters, nor to build houses for us to dwell in. Neither have we vineyards, nor field, nor sea. Now, I did a little historical study of this chapter one time. Back during World War II, these people were still living in tents. Now, and you know how big this family was? This family grew to 100,000 people. That's how much they increased because of obedience. They increased. Not because they obeyed one thing and didn't do the other. They obeyed everything the man said, every charge that was given down to them. Obedience, humbleness, meekness, subjection, and everything. But we have dwelt in tents and obeyed, and done according to all. And done according to all that Jonadab our father commanded us. But it came to pass when Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon came up unto the land, then we say, come and let us go to Jerusalem for fear of the army of the Chaldeans, for we fear the army of the Syrians, so we dwell in Jerusalem. Now let's look at what the Lord said. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, go and tell the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, will ye not receive instruction to hearken to my words? Now, catch that. He said, will you not receive instruction? In other words, I'm giving you instruction on how to obey. I'm giving you instruction. In other words, you ever had somebody, you give them instruction to obey something, and they say, I'll get to it, but not right now? They're going to do what you say, but they're going to do it in their own time. That's not total obedience. If I told the man on my job that I was going to do what he said do in my own time, I wouldn't have a job. Wouldn't have a job. You have to be careful about following instruction. It can cost you something dearly because you wasn't attentive to follow instruction. Watch this now. Will you not receive instruction to hearken to my words, said the Lord? The words of Jonadab, the son of Rechab, that he commanded his son not to drink wine or perform for us unto this day. They drink not, but obey their father's commandment. Notwithstanding, I have spoken unto you, rising early and speaking, but you hearken not unto me. Pick and choose what you want to hearken to. That's what some people do. Pick and choose what they're going to hearken to. Don't know they're putting themselves in trouble. No, don't know if they want to close that door of vexation. You want to close that door of people making you upset, making you mad all the time, not understanding you. You want to close that door and you follow all the instructions they're given to you. All of them. Like you told to follow. Not like you want to follow. Like you told to follow. I have spoken to you, rising early and speaking, but you hearken not unto me. I have sent also unto you all my servants, the prophets. In other words, I said it to you more than one way. And God got his hands on more than one people to tell you, be obedient for your own good. Be obedient. Now, you could not hear me and go home and turn that television on and be somebody on that television telling you, be obedient. See, one thing I learned about God, he's not going to leave himself without a witness. He's not going to leave himself without a witness. Where was I have sent also unto you all my servants the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, return now every man from his evil way, and amend your doing, and go, watch this now, and go not after other gods to serve them. Thou shalt have no other gods but God. Let me show you something. Let me show you something what happens when you don't do what God said. Let's go to Psalm 16 and 4. Psalm 16 and 4. Oh, he said no other God. This here says no other gods. Would it be before him or after him? No other God. And like I said, that's a God commandment. All of God's commandment. Now let's find out what happened over here in Psalm 16 and 4. Their sorrows should be multiplied. They hasten after another God. And their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, nor take up their names into my lips. I won't even speak of them. Because if I speak of them, my sorrows will be multiplied. In other words, my days of happiness are going to be few. My days of joy are going to be few. I wake up in the morning, I'm not happy. I get to the middle of the day, I'm not happy. I get to the end of the day, I lay down and go sleep. I can't sleep because I'm not happy. I must get up the next day, my sorrows still follow me. I multiply this sorrow. Talking about getting an increase. Look at that. Increase in your obedience or increase by disobedience. You getting the increase one way or another. Choose your increase. I'd rather choose to be happy. I'd rather choose to please God that He can increase my happiness. This man is my head. If I want to make God unhappy, all I've got to do is disrespect this man. Yes, ma'am.
Would you agree that God would want us to be kind? Kind. K-I-N-D.
Yes, I would agree.
Do you know how to be kind?
Yes, I do.
Are you kind?
At times. See, I picked the moment. Let me tell you something. See, I always say this, and this is the one thing I preach. Use your head over your heart. A pimp that want to use a woman will be kind to her till you get her.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
See, there are all kinds of people that'll be kind to you till they get what they want.
Yeah.
Huh? I remember a story that Bishop Einstein used to tell about the bird with the piece of cheese. And the fox looked at the bird with the piece of cheese on the fence. And the fox started complimenting the bird about how well and how good that bird can sing until that piece of cheese came out the mouth.
You told me that story.
See, here's the thing. A lot of people don't believe this, but correction is kindness. That's love, and that's kindness. You don't see it as kindness when it's happening. But later on down the road, you understand that that was real kind. One thing that I thank God for my mother for, she made me bring an English and a math book home from school every day. I didn't like carrying books that I didn't need to carry. Had no reason to carry. Had no homework assignment. Had nothing to do in that English and math book. But I was gave an order. Bring your English and math book home every day. I obeyed that order. To this day. I know a little something about English, and I know a little something about math. Have you ever been on a job and somebody just couldn't fill out a job application just because they didn't know simple English? When a man tried to cheat me out of my job, I wasn't that very good at math. I'm just basic math, not geometry or calculus. But basic math, I'm very good. When I look at my paycheck, all I gotta do, I done already counted my money. I can look at my money, see if my money is right. Just basic math. You'd be surprised at how many people that go through school, got a high school diploma, and can't do basic math. As I said before, I did not see it as kindness. I did not see it as love until I got past it and had to use it because my mother told me to do it. A lot of things that you might not see as kindness or sweetness, you don't realize it till you get past it. I remember a little while ago, I taught somebody how to drive on the highway. Didn't want to get on the highway. Didn't want to get behind the wheel. But now they thank me for making them get on the highway. I wasn't kind then. I wasn't kind then. Get behind that wheel, you drive. I wasn't kind, but look how it benefits you. See, you don't benefit from people patting you up all the time. All they do is make you too soft. And do you forget where you are? You in the army of the Lord. Huh? You got marching instructions. In what man's army do you know that they just sow to the shoulders nothing but kindness? Name me one, and I'll show you. Hey, that'd be a poor army. The United States of America is known to have the best soldiers. And you know why? It ain't based on kindness. Huh? If you want to be the best disciple for Christ, it ain't gonna be based on kindness. Trust me. It ain't happening. Huh? Forgive us the truth, Mother Dog. But has Elder Dawes been kind all the time?
Yeah.
No? Yes or no?
No.
That's my case. Mother Kirk, has Elder Kirk been kind all the time? Kind and whatever. Kind. Has he been sweet, loving, caring all the time?
95
I can't hear you. He's been kind all the time.
I believe
Well, he's one of them kind.
That's why I asked you for kind, because.
Okay, in other words, one, has he ever insisted that you do something?
You need to be asking me that question. That kind of me.
Has he ever insisted you do something that you didn't want to do?
He don't say do, he'll say it, I just do it. He don't have to listen.
Oh, he don't have to make you do it. But you do it.
Well, that's
Now,
because,
she was raised
but
up
she's
in
doing
church.
that based upon your lesson. She's being obedient to get the increase. I don't know how she necessarily feels every time I say, hey, you need to do this or you need to do that. But she's doing it to get the increase. That's your lesson.
Okay.
Obedience to increase. So it may not be a tit-to-tat unkind. Like when you say unkind, most people think there's kind of like a friction that takes place.
Yeah.
It may not be a friction that takes place. It may be an uncomfortable job or situation that she may not want to do, but she does it. Like, for example, sometimes we may need to go somewhere, and she's like, I don't want to go, and I'm like, well, you know, we leaving. But she's in the car, ready to go.
Mhm.
So it's not necessarily a friction,
Right.
but it's in terms of where you're trying to put it,
Right.
it's a fine line between being, you know, kind. I'm not sure if that's what you would call it, but again, you know.
In other words, she's not guided by her emotions.
She's subject to that at any time. We all know. I can't say every instance.
But for the most part.
I don't keep track, Kristen.
Okay.
My phone number.
7 left.
Now you're going like I did at the tape. I said, I ain't get.
Holly got it.
7 left.
Choose your battles wise.
But truth be told, in life,
See?
when you have to do something that somebody wants you to do, they don't always tell you in a kind way.
But
I'm just not limiting that to marriage.
right.
See what I'm saying? To get any increase in life, you are going to have to go through some form of unkindness. That's just part of life. What happens is, when we put kindness up here and we put what we're supposed to do down here. So we put kindness above what we're supposed to do. You follow what I'm at? And I go back to what I said. If I didn't do, and it's not just limited to my mother. When I started out to be a drywall finisher, one one of the best trainers I had was not a kind man. I still remember him to this day. A man named Charlie Sanders. Charlie Sanders was not a kind man. I went to work for him for Jack Hall. But everything that man taught me benefited me later on down the road. See what I'm saying? Your best teachers are not going to always be the kind one. That's just a part of life. What happens is like I say, don't put kindness above what you, now, at the same time, I'm not saying to let people walk over you in a kind of way. See what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't take that the wrong way.
Right.
You do, because God gives every person the different measure on how to take stuff, but sometimes God is trying to use people to increase your measure for his kingdom of God's sake. See what I'm saying? Now, Peter, Jesus knew what was in Peter. And Jesus told him, I said, look, before the cock crow twice, you're going to deny me thrice. He knew what was down in the person. Of all the people that God could choose to be a leader, while God was molding and fashioning Peter, he would be the least one that you could expect that he would choose to be a leader. Because he would fly, you talk about ankle problems. He would fly off the handle at any time. Cut a man's ear off in a split second. But once he took heed, guess the picture? Once he took heed to the training, and it was time for him to go, hey look man, don't crucify me like you crucified my Savior. Crucify me upside down. In other words, he didn't want to take stuff, but he got trained on how to take it. See, not just for his benefit, but for the benefit of, why could he write the saying, say, arm yourself with the like mind. As much as Christ suffered in the flood, you're going to suffer also. One part of the scripture wrote, say, look, you have a fault when you go to law with brother. This is our appointed suffering that we are going to have to take unkindness sometime. And they don't say where you're going to take it. You can take it anyway. But the thing is, when you glorify God is how you respond. That's how you glorify God. See what I'm saying? He just glorified the God in his wife by saying how she responds when I tell her to do something that she don't want to do. He just glorified her. That's what God want to do with us. He want to glorify. I've heard some people tell me, I said, man, I wouldn't take what you take. I've taken some stuff that I didn't want to take, and most of the time be on the job. But sooner or later, God moved those people. I was in a 40-hour refresher course for my company, and one of the head men came through, used to be a supervisor on my job, and he said something. What did he say? I can't remember the name, but he said something to me. I said, and I turned to him while I was in the whole class. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take time and opportunity to meet one of the most unlikable men that you're not gonna like. But one thing I do, I thank God for him. Because of his unlikeness, he got rid of some unlike characters that I didn't want to work with. Huh? So sometimes people can work to your benefit and you let God use them. And I look at these and I'm like, you cannot find them nowhere. You cannot find them nowhere. Unlike characters were doing me wrong. And were out to get me. I had one character on the job that was going to scheme with other people just to get rid of me. And God ended up turning the tables and got rid of him. See? But the one thing is, you have to wait God out. God will work in your behalf, but you have to wait him out. This is where you learn your patience, is waiting God out to work things in your behalf. But when you try to plot and scheme to retaliate, to get back at a person, because they did you wrong, not going to work out on your behalf. Bible tell me about Mordecai. Because he wouldn't bow down to, what's his name? Haman. He wouldn't bow down to Haman. Haman going to set a trap for him. End up falling in his own trap. But the one thing, two things. Mordecai was obedient and Esther was obedient. Esther was obedient when she didn't want to be obedient. But she said, you know what? I'm going to do what you say. But work with me. Pray and fast with me. Then I'm going in to see the king. See what I'm saying? If I perish, I perish. See what I'm saying? You have to have the attitude. I'm going to do right. If I perish, I perish. That's the same attitude Jesus had. If I do the Father's will and I perish, I perish. You had to have the same attitude. But one thing I learned, obedience will give you increase. Now, before I sit down, I'm going to talk about one thing that a lot of people don't want to think that's important. And it plays into your increase. And that's paying tithes. Now, when I give my tithes money, I have no idea where my tithes money is going. Now, I don't know if Bishop Dobbs is taking my tithes money and buying Mother Dobbs brand new clothes. I don't know that. See what I'm saying? But the thing is, whether I know it or not, God holds me accountable for paying my tithes. Once I do what God say do, all else don't matter. If I find out about it, now it bothers me. If there's proof in the pudding, now it bothers me. Because I don't want to follow an unrighteous man. But I had no proof. So I can't accuse a man of doing something that I don't have no proof. See what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure he could keep a record that if I did accuse him of something like that, he could prove me wrong. See what I'm saying? But one thing I've learned, how great of a blessing it is to obey God and pay him. Because I can testify of the increase.
Oh, yeah.
One time, wait a minute, let me get through. One time I was behind in my tithes, and I said, I'm going to take my tax money I get paid and catch up on all my tithes. Now, what that scripture say, he will rebuke the devourer for your sake. I'm here to tell you that's a true scripture. Caught up on paying my back tithes, paid my back tithes. I had a hospital bill that when I went to go pay it, they couldn't find the record. couldn't find it. Not only it say he'll open up a window. When you open up a window, you see through a window. So what he do is he increases your understanding of his will. It's not all the time about money. He said he will bless you with an increase. Sometimes it's about a better understanding of something that you need to better understand. Huh? And I stand to this day. This year, I made more money than I did last year. This is true. If I got to show you the record, I'll show you the record. But I stand by that. That God will give you, he opened up doors for you that you didn't even, anybody can tell you. Getting a top secret clearance, that's not an easy thing. Walked in on the job. First week I walked in on the job. They told me, say, everybody work here, you gotta have a top secret. Now, if you don't know anything about the difference between a person making money without a top secret, working in the same field, and you making a top, and having a top secret, and work, in fact, in my trade right now, they shortage top secret people. Got people working 16 hours a day. Not supposed to be working more than 12. Got people working 16 hours a day. And some are so slick, they sitting back and working 24 hours a day and making money. If you do what God say, there's going to be an increase. But don't make excuses. Huh? I can make excuses. I don't know what this man doing with my money. Huh? I ain't giving him this money. I ain't but a few people up in here anyway. What do you need all that money for? It's not for me to say all that. Right. It's for me to obey God. And if this man is doing something wrong, I got faith that God will reveal it to me. That's all I have for you. Obey God to his increase. Yes, ma'am.
I just got a question for you, non spirit guided by some of the household things. What if he did take money and buy something for his wife? Would that make him wrong?
If it has to be, you have to know church structure and church law. According to church structure and church law, the man of God is supposed to get paid. But according to church structure and church law, the man of God is supposed to let his members know how much he's getting paid. If he took money and he's not on an official salary and took money from the church and bought his wife something with it, now, in the spiritual, he might not be so wrong, but in the natural, he'd be wrong. Because there's a law that he has to follow. And if you know church law, you have to account for every dime that the nonprofit received. It was in the paper just recently, 10 NFL stars that got caught because they tried to run a scheme on the medical system of the NFL. See, you might get by, but you won't get caught. They cheated this medical system out of about $3.4 million. Whatever in the darkness, one way or another, is going to come to the light. God see through the darkness. I was going to go in Ezekiel 8, when God saw what the children of Israel doing, they had what's called image of jealousy at the temple. Then they had a secret chamber where they had engraved on the wall all these different other gods that they were burning incense to. See what I'm saying? Then they had a thing where, if anybody know who Tammuz was, Tammuz was the son of, well, supposedly the son of Nimrod and his wife. But He was also ended up being a great hunter like his father, but they had made Tammuz a god, a pagan god. So now, God saw all these pagan things that the children of Israel were doing, and then turned around saying that they were worshiping, reverencing him. You know what he did? He gave them a decrease. Kicked them out of their own land, killed some of their own family, and got rid of them. You don't want to play with God. If you don't do what God say do, he'll put something on you that you can't get rid of. I would not take the chance of God putting a sickness or a disease on me that I couldn't get rid of. See what I'm saying? I'm not so much concerned about his righteousness. I'm concerned about mine. I'm concerned about how I walk before God. What kind of contact do I have God? Am I walking in the fullness of God? Am I loving God with all my heart, all my mind, and all my soul? Am I giving God all? It's not up to me to pick and choose what I'm giving God. I got to follow the pattern of righteousness that he set down. One scripture, Jesus got on the Pharisees about their unrighteous behavior, how they were doing wrong. They were stealing down to the smallest thing. Taking tithes of herbs and all that. If a minister is doing something wrong, God, how many ministers and pastors have you seen on the newspaper and on television? They've been uncovered. There's no minister, whether he be in a righteous faith or whether he be in an unrighteous faith, that God is not going to pull the cover back on. So if this man doing something wrong, all I got to do is wait. God going to put the cover back. But I can't accuse him of wrongdoing without proof. And I can't base me doing something that's supposed to be done righteously without proof. I'm here. This is where I worship at. This is where I serve at. This is where God called me at. I'm going to do what's right regardless. Regardless. I'm going to do what's right.
Amen.
And if you be under my dominionship, I will do my best to see that you do what's right too. So y'all know where's the prayer? Pray my shit for the Lord.
Amen. Praise the Lord, church.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord again.
Hallelujah.
Amen. We thank God for the timely message this morning about obedience and increase. And there's a scripture towards the tail end of his lesson, which was a strong twofold lesson. There's a scripture that says that you ought to touch not God's anointing.